Hello, I'm Mike Shook, and I'm here at my university at Loyola University Chicago and in the greenhouse. And I'm here to talk about Healing Earth, the free online textbook on integral ecology that has chapters on biodiversity and natural resources, energy, water, climate change. Uh, and each chapter is kind of like a stool with four legs. And the four legs are a real solid introduction to science, uh, an encouragement to act on what they learn, and a spiritual discussion of the spirituality behind water or biodiversity, and ethics. And that's the topic of what I wanted to talk about in these few minutes. How does ethics actually play into a chapter in Healing Earth? Uh, and Healing Earth is following a kind of an integral ecology format that's been inspired by Pope Francis in Laudato Si. So what we have here, you see these plants, and students are just, you watch them work with the plants. They work with them with real tenderness, and the plants in the background, the ones in the furthest background, actually will end up going to a food kitchen, food pantry here in the neighborhood. And while the students are preparing these plants that they come to love, they're concerned likewise about the sustainability of the species that they're working with. So I mention this to say that the foundations of the Healing Earth ethic are the three values of the intrinsic value of nature, which the students surely recognize when they work with plants closely. The instrumental value of nature, the students know that these plants will be harvested and used in a market and in a food pantry. And then the value of sustainability. They want to learn how to grow and use plants in a way that does not disturb the ability of the species to sustain itself over time. So when we talk about moral responsibility or ethics in Healing Earth, we really start with this foundation to help students understand that there is an intrinsic value to nature, there's an instrumental value, and how those two come together is through the value of sustainability, the respect for nature, the use of nature in a way that is sustainable, which honors that respect. So I want to take you down to one other feature of our building here where our School of Environmental Sustainability is. If I can turn the camera around. And I will, you'll have to kind of accompany me. I have to go downstairs one flight. Okay, almost there. Lots of student activity here. Okay, I'm back. This is an aquaponics facility that we have here at the School of Environmental Sustainability. And you can see, well, I'll show you the fish that are at the bottom of this hydroponic facility. And their waste is used by these plants. And the plants absorb the water and filter it and send it back down, so the fish have a constant supply of freshened water, and the plants have a constant supply of nutrients from the fish. So this is another example of how students can learn in Healing Earth and in these practical ways of the value of nature and its instrumental use and how to experiment with new methods of sustainability. These are moral aspirations, and the students feel a moral responsibility to the fish and the plants that they work with. On top of the foundations of the Healing Earth ethic of intrinsic value, instrumental value, and sustainability value, there are a set of norms that we entertain and invite students to explore, which are part of their own experience. One set of norms that goes into the Healing Earth ethic is virtues. And I think that students develop the virtues of gratitude and love and patience and prudence. There's a lot that goes into balancing the amount of waste and the amount of water and the pH of the water. So they have to be very prudent. And when these virtues can be named for the student, you know, they're existing and they're building in them as they work on these projects. When you can name these virtues, it brings it into greater self-consciousness, and you can even work on expanding the moral virtues in their lives. There's also, under norms in Healing Earth, there are goals. All of our lives, we have moral aspirations and goals in our life. And in Healing Earth, the preservation of biodiversity is a goal. The increased availability, making fresh water increasingly available to people who need it. Mitigating climate change. Reducing the extraction of vital minerals and earth and elements from the earth to reduce the extraction of trees and deforestation. So when students can understand that what they aspire to in healing the earth can really be articulated in a more refined way by virtue of specific goals, that helps them in understanding the ethics of environmental work. Finally, besides virtues and goals, Healing Earth presents a set of moral principles, rules that we seek to embellish in our moral lives. And here again, care for creation. You know, when students are able to explore what that means and find themselves inside that work, it's a named moral value, moral principle that they can kind of own for themselves and grow. The other thing that's of concern to students is that these fish and these plants, you know, being made available in our community to those that are less fortunate than them. In our parlance in Healing Earth, that would be the principle of the preferential option for the poor. And the students have a remarkable sensitivity to the needs of the poor. And to be able to put a word and a concept on that sensibility helps it to grow in our student population. There's other principles that we explore in Healing Earth. The common good is one. Human rights and human dignity. The principle of subsidiarity, to do things at its most appropriate and manageable level. Don't fix something at a high level that can be fixed close to the action. Other principles that are important to the moral responsibility we have to the earth are also elucidated in Healing Earth. So I'd invite you to explore how, whether you're doing environmental science, you know, as a scientist, or maybe you're a theologian or a humanist that's starting with the spirituality section of Healing Earth, or you're an activist and you really are interested in the action recommendations in Healing Earth. Each of those kind of foci can be drawn through the ethics section of Healing Earth to really highlight and name the moral responsibility that we all feel toward the earth and to specify the kind of values that we are attached to and the kind of norms that really are meaningful to us, whether they come in the flavor of virtues or goals or principles. All of this dimension, the ethical dimension of Healing Earth that is explored in each of the chapters, really helps students kind of ground their own moral intuitions and expand them. So I'm very happy that I've been able to have this opportunity to spend a few moments with you. I know it's a bit noisy with all this action going around here, but I thought you might enjoy being in the midst of our students and our activities. So with that, I'll say goodbye and the best to all of you for this holiday season. God bless.